And welcome back. Today we're going to be working on Xlookup in Excel. It's a lookup function that is so much more powerful than Vlookup, and things like having to make sure the information is to the left, having to be able to count the columns, having to worry about an ugly error message. All these things Xlookup takes care of automatically, and even better, it lets us do searches with wildcard matches. So come along and let's see how it works. As I said, Xlookup is a lookup function. It helps us bring back data in Excel. Before we get into it, I want you to look at this table. What would you do if I asked you what was Carl's favorite ice cream flavor? Would you go down, find the name Carl, and then go across and find the word strawberry? And that's exactly what Excel is going to do. And I have to give credit. I worked with Heidi once when she taught me Vlookup and Hlookup. She created this ice cream tab and this commission tab, worksheet tab, and they've been valuable to this day. Just a reminder, anytime you see the word formula, there is a formula text formula, so that when I press enter after we've written it out, you'll still be able to look at it, see each of the elements. As I said, we're going to be using Xlookup, so I'll write the name of the function, do my open and close parentheses, and then I'll use the insert function button to get into the function arguments. Lookup value, what are you looking for? Lookup array, where are you going to look for it? Return value, what do you need to bring back? Then we actually have an option if not found, and what do we do about exact and non-exact matches? One of the best things about Xlookup, by default, an exact match is used. So we're going to go ahead and break this down. Lookup value, I'll choose the cell that has what I want to look up. Lookup array, this is going to be a little different than H and Vlookup. You're doing one column or part of a column. Return array, again, this is only one column or part of a column, and as we'll see in the next tab, it could also be one row. So either one column or row. Since it's exact match, it brought back the word strawberry, but this if not found, what text do you want to show if it doesn't find it? And I'm just going to put the words not found. I do an OK. It found strawberries, but if I change the name, you'll notice it actually brings back that not found message. Now we have commissions, and as I said, it's either one row or one column. You don't have to think horizontally, vertically, anything like that. And in this case, we're not going to be doing an exact match. How much do they make? They get a certain amount of a bonus. And let's take Dylan. He made more than 1,000, but less than 3,000. So he's going to get $50. I'll put it in my cell, and this is the one that's going to have the formula text, equal Xlookup, open and close parentheses, insert function box. What am I looking for? I am looking for the amount sold. Where am I going to look for it? I'm going to look it on this first row, and since I'm going to be copying this down, I'm going to just press the F4 key to make it an absolute value. Same thing for the return array. What information do I want to bring back? I want to bring back the applicable bonus. Highlight F4. What do I want to say if not found? I'm just going to say call Mary. And right now you'll notice it didn't find an exact match, so we have to tell it the match mode. I'm going to put on the screen the options that you can use for match mode. We're going to be using -1, which means it will go back 1 to find the information if it didn't find it. So I'm going to go ahead and do -1, and you'll see that brings me back $50. I'm going to take the little fill handle, double click to fill all the others in. A little gotcha. You will need to start with a 0. So if it doesn't have 1,000, it needs something to go back to. So it always needs something to go back to. And we're on to our last example now. For simplicity, you'll notice that all my lookups and all my data were on the same worksheet tab. You don't need to do that. In this example, we'll use a different worksheet tab, but you can even use a different workbook entirely. So on the staff list, I have a list of people, and Mason's the person we're going to be looking up. What I'm going to do, let's bring up our function again. So Xlookup, open and close parentheses, hit the insert function box, lookup value. We're going to start the same, but then we're going to say, take what's in B3, and then anything after it, we don't care. Put as many characters as you want after it. And that's what the asterisk sign is going to say. B3, and, so don't forget your ampersand, a wildcard. The next two are very similar, so lookup array is going to be my D column, my return array is going to be my A column. I'll just use not found if not found. Right now it hasn't been found because we haven't told it that we want to use the wildcard. And the match mode to use the wildcard is 2. So once I go like this and make it a 2, it comes back with legal. One thing to keep in mind with wildcards is you want to make sure it's unique enough to get you what you want. Because let's say instead of just what is in B3, I just do MA. You'll notice that it comes back with customer service. And just to make it a little easier, instead of returning that, I'll return the full name. It came back with Maya, who was the first one there. And because I started with the actual value, it's just whatever comes after. But what if I was looking for something in the middle? We can change this lookup value. So I'm going to make sure I'm on the cell, hit the insert function, and we're going to take and put an ampersand before. So it's going to say, I don't care what's before. We have a number of characters before. Then we have the letters MA, and then we have some sort of characters afterwards. And you'll see, you can even see it from here. This will bring back ILSA. So there you have it, Xlookup. It can look up horizontally, it can look up vertically, it can look up wildcards, all with doing just one thing. I hope you enjoy. Happy looking up and happy calculating. Have a great day.